This stuff here. So I got a lot of questions again, but we'll go right into this one here. All right. Question is, Mark, when you become enlightened, why don't people understand you? What is the secret to really manifesting or creating reality? Quantum physics says we occupy multiple universes. How can that be? How can I make that practical into my daily life to make it happen for real? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let's talk about it. So as you guys know, look, I'm really into the mind and study of quantum mechanics. As a matter of fact, that's what I used to win the lottery. So if you're new to my channel, you see my stuff, you know my work, you know I wrote a book about it. I won the lottery a lot of times, and I'm teaching you, I'm showing you about the mind and the subconscious. And this is what I like to do. I like to give back and show people how to do this stuff. The information is downloaded to me. I'm going to download it to you. All right, let's begin. First thing you got to understand is, okay, no two people or no two individuals will ever see the same reality, even though they are existing in the same space or time. You cannot do it. Me and you and I can be standing right next to each other. We're looking at the same thing. You're going to see it a little uniquely different than I'm going to see it uniquely different. Why is that? Because we exist in a perception-based universe. My perception, your perception is very different. What does that say in the big picture? It says that I live in my own universe and you live in your own universe. But what is it even bigger? What is the bigger picture? Well, if I live in my own universe, that means I can create my own world. I can manifest whatever I want and it will appear in the same space and time. Let me show you something about dimensions. Dimensions are just different levels of frequencies, different levels of awareness. But all dimensions are all around us at the same time. There's the dimension that you want is right here next to you. Everything, in other words, every part of parallel realities, all the worlds, they must occupy the same space-time. They only occupy different levels of awareness or different levels of our bodies and vibrate on our frequencies. Okay? So, when you become the awakened one, or you become more awakened, or you become more enlightened, and you start figuring this stuff out through the world or through the laws of quantum physics, a lot of people won't make sense to you. Matter of fact, when you talk to people, some people will look at you like you're crazy. What's going on? It's not that you're crazy people. They cannot see your reality because they're in a different reality. Remember, all realities will be in the same space-time, but we'll see from a uniquely different perspective. Okay? We know that what is called quantum superposition, that everything exists at once, and based on a personal observation of that thing, according to your unique consciousness or your higher self, you will see just a little uniquely different. Got it? Now the question comes up then, all right, man, how do I make this stuff work into my world? So here's the secret. You know, when I won the lottery, and anything you want to do, you follow this rule, and I guarantee you'll get it. Okay? You ready for this? If you can see yourself in the first person, the third person, if you can feel what it's like, if you can write or script in the present tense what it's like, how it looks, what you're doing after you have the thing, you will superimpose your frequency and it will match that reality, which will be in the same space and time. It would look like nothing's changed, your reality hasn't changed, but you just won something. That's how you create anything in your life. When it came to the lottery, that's what I used to do every night. I used to see myself in third person. Some people can see themselves in first person. I can see myself in third person. It really doesn't matter. As long as you can see something in your mind of you doing the thing, having the thing. When you can do that, this is when this quantum physics stuff kicks in. And it kicks in because we live in what's called a many world interpretations. It kicks in because your consciousness is infinite, and the consciousness must experience itself from every fractal experience in the entire multiverse. Everything that can happen, must happen, will happen, is happening somewhere right now, based on what you perceive in your universe. Okay? We live in multiverse, but within the multiverse is your inverse inside of you, right? Universe. You see how that works? So what happens is when you superimpose something in the mind, well, before we go there, I have to let you know something. Everything is mental. The universe is mental. Reality is mentalism. It's mental. It's all in your mind. It's in your. We project things from inside out. So that's the most important thing here. Your physical reality is a reflection of mental reality. Okay, mentalism creates reality. In other words, everything is energy. It's transparent. It's all mind, and it creates what we call matter, and we perceive it. Our brain does a really good job of tricking us with the different electrochemical signals to make us feel and interpret things. But if we go down to the root cause of all of this thing, nothing is real. It's all energy. It's all perception. It's all observation. It's how our mind coagulates information, and it becomes our unique experience. So with that being said, let me continue now. All right. When you see something in the first or third person, and when you can write it down, when you can feel it, what happens now? Let's go down into the lower levels of physics and science. What happens now? We are creating unique frequencies. The universe exists in frequency, energy, vibration. Okay, we know that because we know the particles, they have mass and they have charges. They have positive electric, they have a magnetism and electromagnetic, which is electricity and energy. We know that now. We know the laws of thermodynamics, weak nuclear, strong nuclear force, gravity. All of these combine to make up our unique dimension of reality. And within that dimension of reality now, our consciousness is the powerhouse that drives stuff. So that means when I see something in the mind's eye, it is actually being processed and created in a parallel reality. And then once I continue the repetition of that process, I am feeding energy to it. The more energy I feed something, the more I create what's called critical mass. And when I create critical mass, it expands. When it expands, it comes in to this space-time dimension. Voila! That's how it works on every fundamental level of the world. Now, for someone who doesn't know this, they just don't know it. They're going to live their life with their mind trying and logic, and they're not going to be, they won't know this. So this is hidden from you if you aren't someone who is aware of this information. But now I am putting it out to you so you can see how that stuff works. Someone says, can you repeat on matter? Certainly. Matter is energy in a dense form. Simple analogy to show you what matter is, let's look at water. Water comes in different states. Water can be a solid, which is what? Ice. Water can be liquid, which flows. It also can be a gas, which is steam, but it is the same property. The difference between a car and an apple, the only difference is the way the atoms are arranged, but they are the same thing. In a car, the atoms are arranged more, maybe say symmetrically or more lattice, like a lattice structure. In an apple, it's probably more jumbled up, and that gives you the appearance of an apple. Our brains, though, what our brains do, our brains evolved to give us really good perception of our world. So with the brain and the body, what the body does with the nervous system, it creates what we call feelings. But those are also illusions. Everything you are feeling, thinking, or whatever is a pulse of energy that you send out. You are a receiver, a transmitter. That's all you are. Your entire body is a big conductor of energy, man. Your entire body is a big conductor. Your water, your electricity, your magnetism. For example, look at your heart. Your heart, right now as I'm speaking to you, has a 6 feet radius of magnetic energy. That's why there's a 6 feet magnetic push your heart is giving off right now. 6 feet. And they can measure it. They can use thermal images and they can see your heart. Your aura. You give off aura, you give off energy right now. All of this is scientific facts. With that being said, since you are energy, you're giving off vibration, the universe is the same thing and it responds back to you in the form that you and I can perceive the most, which is what? Physical reality. That's how our brains work to make things look. So this is why stuff looks so real to you and I. This is why it feels so real to you and I. But again, it's all a game. It's all an illusion. And what makes it even more real to us is now because we have a logic and we have intelligent mind, the intellect mind, which is the ego mind, which puts even a more stamp on it and say, oh, this is real. But people, it's not real. It cannot be real. Real isn't even real. Real is something we made up. Everything is made up. But I don't have to get into that. That's a whole other rabbit hole. But I just want to touch the point where someone says, when you become enlightened or when you're on another level, people aren't going to understand you. People are going to look at you like you're confused. Some people might look at you crazy. And you might be looking at them like, why can't they see what I'm talking about? Why can't they understand how this stuff works? The reason why they can't understand this stuff, guys, because everyone, they're in another reality. They're in a reality that based on their perception. You're in a reality based on your perception and your interpretation. But yet we are in the same space-time thing here. You get what I'm saying? Space-time thing here. So that's why when you look at someone and look at you, you say, can't you see it? They literally can't. The only way they can become awakened or see the stuff now is if they start to tune in. And then the universe will start to show them. Now, the next thing that happens, when you become this enlightened or this awakened person, you're going to get a lot of what we call synchronicities. Synchronicities, now, how does synchronicity work? It works to your subconscious. You see, your subconscious is sending messages from the universe. And how you interpret reality, people, is through your conscious mind. We observe reality through the regular mind. We absorb reality through the subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind absorbs, sends it to the regular observe it. So when you see like the ones or the twos or the threes, that is actually your subconscious. The easiest way your subconscious can give information to your conscious to make sense is to show them as numbers. That's why you see 1155 following you. Because if your subconscious goes to your conscious and says, hey, this is how it works. It's too complicated. Your conscious can't handle the truth. Ever hear the saying, you can't handle the truth? Well, your subconscious can't handle the truth. It's just too much. It's just too much information. Remember, your two minds now, one of them is limited, one of them is unlimited. Your conscious mind is only limited. You can only process about 20,000 thoughts per day in your conscious. Within your unconscious mind, you can process 3 billion bits. Not even thoughts. There's 3 billion bits of information per second. That's in the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is doing a whole bunch of stuff right now that you're not even aware of. It's controlling your heart rate, your breathing, your body temperature. It's looking your habits, actions. You don't even know it's controlling your muscle twitches, all that stuff, and more and more and more and more and more. So when that happens, your subconscious has to find a way to make sense to your mind. So it sends you these synchronicities, and that's why you'll wake up at 1:45, 2:45, 3:33, 2:33, because your higher self is communicating to you. It's telling you, it's like, hey man, I want you to wake up now because, hey, we're from a different dimension and I'm showing you something that you can start to do something or live your purpose or create what you want, because all of this is just infinite realities that you can experience at any time. See how it works? Do you agree you are your own galaxy Cummins? Yes. The main point you want to understand, people, is this. Your own head is your own world. In your own world is going to be your own experience, not the other person. That's the bottom line. So next time you're out with your family or your friends, remember this. You guys are maybe at the same place at the same gathering, looking at the same exact thing. I can 100% guarantee you, if we're sitting there looking at the same movie or whatever, at the end of the movie, we are not going to have the same experience. Even though we're in the same space-time, it's impossible to do that.